The city of Desert Hot Springs is planning to embark on a rebranding campaign to change its image and bring in more activities for residents and tourists. It has hired Palm Springs designer and hotelier Tracy Turco to help create a new image for the city, with designs to be used in signage, maps, website materials, and more. I spoke with Turco today about the project. Tracy, you're already known as the design diva of the desert, but you're really living up to that. Tell us about what you're doing with Desert Hot Springs.
Yes, this is one of my most exciting projects because I was hired by the city of Desert Hot Springs to rebrand the downtown area and create logos, all the banners, signs, and everything that I love that's filled with color, because they wanted to give Desert Hot Springs a new look that's exciting and artistic.
How did this all come about?
I believe that they recognized the work that I did for art properties with my husband, Jerry. They saw the signage that I created for, the Art Hotel, the Cheetah Hotel, the Tiki Hotel, and even like our 60s psychedelic campers, all my graphic art on it. So that's a showstopper on the main road of North Indian Canyon. So if they came to the right place if they wanted color and exciting new branding, that's my pleasure. I love doing that.
Absolutely. So the city came to you. I've already seen some of the designs. They're really cool.
Oh my gosh, I love them. In fact, I'm actually wearing the fabric that I created for the Desert Hot Springs on my little cape here.
That's the fabric?
Yeah, that's the fabric. You see the gradation of color. That's based on the geothermal, the mineral water, hot springs, on the levels of different mineral content and how hot the water is. So I thought that would be a cool vibe to share with the community. And that's actually what I gave to them as the wallpaper for their website. And I'm going to be doing maps and tour guides like Desert Hot Springs guide to spas, to the marijuana cannabis industry, all the cool hotel signs, and even the hiking trails.
Wow, you really put a lot of thought into this.
Oh, my mind never stops.
Yeah, you do live for color. I think a lot of people sometimes forget about Desert Hot Springs. Obviously, Palm Springs gets all the attention, but a lot of people kind of don't realize, I'm saying tourists who come here from out of town, that Desert Hot Springs has a lot to offer, and it's right next door to Palm Springs.
For me, the Desert Hot Springs, if we're the New York City, Desert Hot Springs is the Brooklyn, like the hip, up and coming. It already had 250 hotels in its heyday. And we're sitting on like a trifecta because it has mineral hot springs water that's beautiful, that's good for healing and for beauty. Then it has the best drinking water in the entire world. It's the second best drinking water in the entire world, natural wells. Third, the cannabis industry now has license to open hotels that are cannabis, not just cannabis friendly hotels, but you can actually purchase it in the gift shop and then take it back to your room. And we're going to open, my husband and I are opening a cannabis licensed hotel where it's all about wellness. And you can have cannabis treatments, all the CBD oils and creams, plus a whole line of beauty that that I'm creating to brand that will be part of the hotel.
Very cool. With your designs, Tracy, what are your hopes? What do you think that this will help bring to Desert Hot Springs?
Everything we produce and create is for the tourists that come to Palm Springs. Now they have in 15 minutes, they can be in Desert Hot Springs and have a whole new vibe. It's safe. It's not, it had a bad rap for being unsafe. No, that's not true. We've even heard from the police it's safer than Palm Springs. So we just wanted to continue the thread of tourism. So they can go on the weekends, go downtown. They're going to have a food truck park, and like walk around in the downtown area, and they can go hiking. In fact, it's like one of the only trails that lead from Desert Hot Springs. You can go right into Joshua Tree.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Tracy, this is very exciting, and congratulations on all you're doing. Anything else you'd like to say before we let you go?
I'm thrilled to be working with Desert Hot Springs because our women's entrepreneur group that I started here in Palm Springs now all have a place to go, because we're going to start in the downtown area and start renting up the neighborhoods for brick and mortar shops. And then
Okay.
my husband and I have another hotel aside from that one that we bought a spot for.
You're just go, go, go. I don't know how you do it. You're like the Energizer Bunny.
I know.
All right. Well, Tracy, as always, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.